Leighton Hakel has been in Hastings in Hawke's Bay. Leighton, that is an area that's truly been hit hard. Talk us through it. What have you seen?
Well, Amanda, we spent about 45 minutes in a chopper this morning surveying the area of Hawke's Bay, and I tell you what, it's simply quite, it's hard to fathom just how much water has affected this area. It is covered in water. We've seen so many homes fully engulfed in the brown, murky water that's flooded through over the banks of the rivers, and it just continued to rise. Even today it's continued to rise. Some homes we could barely see the roofs, and these were the homes that people were rescued from even today. So as you heard, about 12 helicopters have been going back and forth collecting people. We were there at one of the operation bases late into the night yesterday, and it was constant. There were hundreds of people in that one spot that were being evacuated by helicopter, by jet ski. We saw IRB boats come through. Crazy scenes here in Hawke's Bay, really.
I know, just looking at some of the footage, Leighton, it is just heartbreaking. Like you say, water everywhere. But the minister said 9,000 people are displaced where you are in Hawke's Bay. That is a staggering number.
That's a staggering number indeed. He also mentioned about the 2 deaths in Hawke's Bay and said he wouldn't be surprised if there were further deaths, and we wouldn't either. Just looking at a lot of those homes, you know, we spoke to a number of these helicopter pilots. They said they were just going and getting the people that they could see, and only the people they could see, because, you know, clearly there were other people in the area. So obviously police and emergency services are continuing with those flights today to see if there are any more people that they can spot, and hopefully it remains as 2 deaths. So we don't want to see any more people die in this terrible weather.
Absolutely not. I was listening to an interview with an old friend from Gisborne. Actually, he's in Hawke's Bay as a helicopter pilot. He and his team, I think it was 300 people, he said, from babies to grandmothers that they were taking out. He said there was some heartbreaking scenes. A lot of them, though, I think there's about 3,000 people, are sheltering in civil defence centres. What do you know there? How are the people coping?
Oh, look, they actually seem to be coping okay, and I think it's probably just the shock, the disbelief at what's happened to their community. We're actually where we are. We're at our motel in Hastings, and next door is the evacuation centre. We were there last night. There were hundreds of people, many of them REC workers who, you know, are away from their homes and no way to contact their homes back in the islands. But, you know, people we spoke to there, we spoke to one man, Todd Morris. He's a farmer. He was rescued after 5 hours, stranded on a roof. He managed to get his 6 dogs up onto the roof, but sadly after 5 hours, 2 dogs slipped. He was shocked. He didn't even know how much of his stock made it through. I mean, and that's just one story. You know, we also spoke to another man down at the operation base, and he said that he managed to get into one of the choppers yesterday, fly around and look for his elderly grandparents and rescue them. Unfortunately, he couldn't find them, but we understand that they were taken to hospital in a jet ski. But that's just the reality for so many people in this community. It is heartbreaking, but we've also seen some amazing people volunteer. We've seen workers come in and cook dinner, cook breakfast for all these people in these evacuation centres. We've also seen people that were using their vans as ferries between the emergency base and the hospitals or wherever they needed to go. People are just helping however they can, and some of these people have lost their own homes. You know, it is truly tragic scenes here.
But they are a resilient bunch and they are a resourceful bunch, and that's what we love about our East Coast people. Though, Leighton, what's the sort of immediate need for people right now?
Well, shelter and water, and I guess that the council has issued, like Gisborne, a conserve water notice because they're quickly running out of water supply. Also, access. Communication is so difficult here. We've been out filming all night, all day, and we've struggled to feed any of our pictures back to you guys up in Auckland or anywhere really, because the communication is down. Our service is still down. We've managed to get a bit of Wi-Fi. We're actually using a Starlink to be able to broadcast at the moment. So, you know, there's a huge need, and I guess the thing is, just because of the damage and the severity of this, the cleanup isn't even on people's minds right now. It's making sure that people have made it out. I saw Hawke's Bay are encouraging people to get in touch with police on 105 or on a police website to be able to register their family members, that if they are missing or if they haven't heard from them, and there will be a lot of people in that situation. I heard you talk earlier about your whānau in Gisborne, Amanda. I haven't been able to contact my whānau in Gisborne either, and here in Hawke's Bay I've talked to so many people that are just struggling to get in touch with their grandparents who were in those worst affected zones. So yeah, really heartbreaking here.
It is. You just want that one text, that one message to say, we're fine. You're doing a brilliant job, Leighton. Please stay safe. Leighton Hakel live in Hastings in a very hard hit Hawke's Bay.